My name is Emily Smith. I work at eVOLV Fitness. I've been working here for over a year, and I am one of the Yogos instructors, and I'm also group fitness certified and soon to be Sacred Hot Yoga certified as well. I was actually diagnosed with a really rare form of cancer. It's called neuroblastoma. When I was 1 year old, I was actually quadriplegic and went through two 18-hour surgeries, one on my spine and then also one that focused on my heart and lungs. My original diagnosis was terminal, so they did a 18-hour surgery on my spine, and I was able to relearn how to walk and get back into physical therapy. Until I was about 5 years old, I was in and out of the hospital and constantly in a wheelchair, and I also was going through rounds and rounds of chemo to the point now that I actually, if I should need chemo, God forbid, I can't have it anymore because it would be too strenuous on my body. And so it has caused long-term after effects. They didn't expect me to make it through those surgeries, and they didn't expect me to make it through the 6 months. When I was about 11 or 12, I was diagnosed with a secondary tumor, which is common after you have an original diagnosis to be more prone to other tumors or other illnesses that may come up. And I was diagnosed with again another rare form of cancer on my thyroid, and I was actually the youngest person on this side of the country to ever have the diagnosis. And so that was a really heavy thing to go through going into middle school, and I was okay, just kind of took things as it came, and then was in and out of school and very down. And as soon as I felt like I was ready to get over that one, heading into high school, I was diagnosed with a brain tumor on my pineal gland, which if you look at the scans, it's like if you put your finger between your eyes right here and a finger over your ear, where it meets in the middle, that's where your pineal gland is. I was diagnosed with that going into high school and ended up dropping out of high school for a little bit to get myself back in physical shape, and also the mental shape to be faced with something yet again and having to go back and get up and do everyday things when all I wanted to do was just have fun. I'm like, you go through a process of those emotions of being scared or being fearful of what may happen, but also trying to maintain a positive outlook and a positive attitude, and determined and ambitious. I wanted to finish high school. I wanted to prove to people that you can take a break and that's okay. You can take a second to realize that maybe you're not in the best circumstances, but there's things out there that you can do. So I started homeschooling myself. You know, third time's a charm, and I'm back at it and doing really awesome today. I'm in remission and doing really, really well with everything. So I'm very fortunate and grateful. You go through so many emotions with facing that terminal or that fatality. The biggest challenge I had growing up with cancer or being diagnosed with cancer, I think at any age, is that it becomes very real. The amount of fear that you have for not experiencing the same as the next person, or not going to be able to physically or emotionally handle doing things in public, or kind of losing that personal aspect. You become a patient, not a person. You become so wrapped up in a mindset of statistics and fear and thought processes, and I went through lots of anger and frustration. It's confusing, especially as a kid, to face something so real that a lot of people, you don't face that till you're an adult. My hair grew back faster than my heart mended. It's kind of scary to walk out with no eyelashes and no hair, no eyebrows. That's not accepted, especially in a society that focuses so much on those appearances or those looks. So I was, again, just trying to get myself physically active and would go running and everything, and I ended up meeting the greatest blue pit bull. He was just walking by every morning, and he was one of my neighbor's dogs, and I thought he was the coolest looking dog I had ever seen. Rebecca Widmeyer was Diesel's mom, and Jen was helping out, and so I had no idea what they did. I just one day finally had the confidence to just say, hey, do you mind if I run your dog? Like, I don't need anything, just can I run your dog? It's completely because he's a pit bull and I need the PE credits for my homeschooling. And they were like, sure, like we've been trying to figure out what to do with him. He's got crazy amounts of energy. I started running Diesel, and he was crazy. He had as much energy as I wanted to have all the time. And so I would run him every day. And that started January 23rd of 2012. And we ran in between January and May 10th. We ran 163 miles. It was the first real outlet I had. And Rebecca and Jen, they had just been starting eVOLV, and I had no idea that they had any resources to actually be helping me out with what I was going through, with trying to overcome those physical barriers and get myself back on track that way. My first impression of Rebecca and Jen when I met them, they were my neighbors, and they were the only neighbors that every morning, no matter what, even if it was 6 o'clock in the morning and they were on their way to work, they would stop and say hi. They would stop and say, hey, how you doing, Emily? Or they would be singing at the top of their lungs with the car doors open in the middle of the summer, and I was just like, I want to do that. It didn't matter what day it was. They constantly had a smile on their face, and I didn't know where they came from. I didn't know what they were doing or what may be going on in their personal life, and they didn't open that up. They were just more than caring. They were loving, and they barely knew me. And that to me was really important, and that ultimately gave me the confidence to be able to connect with them and to reach out and say, hey, like, there has to be more to this. There has to be more. Rebecca is one of the most important people to me. Even throughout my life, I'd say Rebecca has been there to help me through some of the biggest accomplishments and the biggest trials of my life, where today I have full use of my legs and I can sweat and drip sweat in class, and Rebecca was there. Whether she knew she was doing it or not, she made me feel alive for the first time. To feel alive is to know love, to know compassion, to know dedication, and to be able to not only feel that but give it back now is empowering. It's something that I look forward to every day. It's something that I get up for and I live for now. And coming to eVOLV is huge for me. It's the most important place I have. It's my home, my second home that I have. I feel like even though I'm so far away from my biological family or my immediate family, I still feel so connected to them. I finally feel happy. I finally feel like I'm a part of something, and I finally feel loved and cared for beyond just my family, and that's something that I think everybody needs. It's finally over for me to be scared or to be fearful, angry or confused. I'm finally healed. I finally feel like this is where I've needed to be my entire life. I owe everything to eVOLV. I owe great gratitude, and love that I have for them is just outstanding. To feel a part of a community when I didn't even feel like I could leave my apartment is a huge difference.
For Emily, to see her transform over the last year and a half, it's more not only a physical thing, it's been more of a mental thing, and to see the confidence come out of her from a young lady to a woman, to a young woman. Her path that she's taken in her short lifetime here is more than most people will ever experience. And just to see what she's done and to see with a smile on her face, to see her still push forward and want more out of her life is amazing and a blessing to be part of.
For me personally, that anytime I'm not feeling good, that's crap. Because I get to turn around and look at what's standing next to me and who overcame everything because of her mind. The fact that she can share her experience and have it real with our members and our clients and the people that feel as if they've lost hope, when they can look at someone and see what they've been through, it makes it personal to them. And that's what we're all about. So she is walk the walk, talk the talk, an example of it. And anytime that you think you're having a bad day, she should always be your reminder.
I feel like for the first time that I'm finally able to do whatever it is I want to do and feel safe with that and to not be afraid of the future. And I just want to keep moving forward with this overwhelming sense of gratitude and this overwhelming sense of love and happiness.